right, what up, people? This week, part 2 of the hashtag Blackout Podcast Hater/Supporter Special. We talk about the supporters this time. The supporters, your true supporters, not necessarily your lovers, because that's kind of weird, but not weird. But yeah, we're going to talk about your supporters. Who supports you in your dreams, and what qualifies as a true supporter. So we're going to dip into that in this episode 131, hashtag Blackout Podcast.
You know,
all right, bam.
Bras are very supportive.
I'm sure they are.
So are
I wouldn't know.
Jacques straps.
I wouldn't know that either.
Jacques strap. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. He's Jay.
He's Jared.
Yep. And we're back at it again.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Another episode.
Yeah. What's up, man? How's your week been this week?
Extremely stressful and busy.
Yeah.
Extremely stressful and busy. You know, people. I'm sure people out there who know who work at jobs where there's like lots of money on the table, know how, people act. And when they got to get work done, Super stressful. It's Saturday night. We usually record on Sunday morning, but hey, somebody decided to call me today, and I was like, yeah, we need you to come in tomorrow because we got stuff we gotta get done by Monday morning. Okay. Wow. On top of that, I mean, of course, I stayed till like 8 p.m. Friday night.
Wow.
Trying to work on stuff.
That's wild, man. That sucks.
Just me by my lonesome.
Yeah.
In the office.
So is it like, is it a situation where you got to work like a full day, like an 8 to 5 type of day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I work 8 to 5, or actually 8 to 8. So yeah. 12, put in 12 hours. I mean, I know there's people that put in 12-hour days, for their job.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is just sometimes it just gets to the point where it's just silly.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's silly at my job. It's like, y'all know this stuff is due. Why do y'all wait till the last minute to like get stuff for me to use my creative juices? It ain't magic like people say. I mean, I work as a graphic artist, people, and people think I do magic. They like, do your magic, work your magic. We know you good, work your magic.
You got the magic stick. Come on, man. You got the magic stick.
Nah, B, this is not magic at all. At all.
Yeah, understand. Yeah, I mean, it
makes my brain hurt. Yeah,
it's definitely one of those things. Like if you get asked to work on a day that you expect to be off, that you're normally off, like a weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like these are your 2 days off normally, so that's gotta suck. I get that, man. Get that. Well, hopefully that day tomorrow goes quickly. Hopefully that day goes quickly.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I sure hope so. They better bring in some breakfast, though.
That would be nice. Yeah, they better be feeding y'all right. I'm trying to think, man. Yeah, my week was...
Damn, Jason's Deli.
You don't like Jason Deli?
No, that's their go-to. Jason's Deli is their go-to.
Is that right?
I mean, I don't want that bland food, man. I mean, I'm in like a caloric deficit for like the past few months, so I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that bad, but still, Jason's Deli out of all places.
Yeah, I got you. You want something a little bit better. Well, you want some breakfast. You want some breakfast burritos up in this piece, right?
I mean, just something tasty.
Yeah.
Something tasty.
Understand. Well, I'll tell you, man, my week was, I don't know, it was good and bad, man. It was, I don't know, really sort of stressful at work with a couple of things that were going on. Things that, people claimed, sort of people claimed that I did or our company did, that, we sort of had proof to back up that we didn't. But you know, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's all sort of a he said, she said type of thing. But you know, I think that situation was diffused pretty nicely, but had to go into the end of the week till that happened. So that's whatever. You know, the other thing that was good though was, you know, for I don't know, I just met some people that told me I should go to a barbecue cook-off around here, that I'd have a good chance of winning. You know, probably because they've seen, you know, the stuff that I cook, and you know, they think it looks quality. So I'm considering that, going to my first, like, they call it a backyard barbecue contest, even though it's like at a, you know, at like a carnival or festival, something like that. So I'm considering doing that.
Do it, man.
Pork ribs and chicken, you know.
Because you never know who's going to be there.
Absolutely right. It's a cheap buy-in. You know, it's just a few hours on a Saturday. So, yeah, I might just do it, man. I might just do it. So, that's good. You know.
Just remember, low and slow.
Low and slow. It's the only way to go, man.
Low and slow.
Low and slow, poke through tinder.
To tell you the truth, I watched this dude do a fast and hot brisket.
Mm-hmm.
So he cooked like I don't know, it was like a 14-pound brisket.
Was it Harry Sue?
And like...
The Asian Harry Sue, the Asian guy?
Yeah.
I watched that too.
Yeah. It was... Yeah, man, he went through that and it looked good. Well, I mean, of course it looked good. He pulled it, did his little pull test. Mm-hmm. And, I mean...
It popped, right?
Of course, all we could do is go by what we see on the YouTube. Mm-hmm. We don't know how it really tastes, but... You know. This
is the thing, man. I need to get linked up with. I need to get linked up with a meat company, either a farm that does meat, or you know, one of the butchers markets around here that does meat. Because man, meat is expensive, man. Especially if you get beef. Like, I know brisket in Texas is probably like, you know, $3 or less a pound, something like that. Maybe $3.25 if you get like a more expensive one that's not a Wagyu, right, or prime. But up here, man, they start at like $3-something a pound and go up. So, you know, you're lucky if you catch a brisket for like $2.90 or like, you know, or less than $2.50 a pound. So, and a lot of times they're not quality, so you have to search pretty hard to get, you know, a good looking, you know, cut of meat that's not like mainly fat. So, right. You know, and I mean, you know, you talk brisket, you talk ribeye strip, whatever it is, you know, if it's beef, it's normally going to be, you know, pretty stinking expensive around here. So I need to link up with one of these like Allen Brothers Steaks or Snake River Farms or, you know, Don's Meats that's up here, or somebody, Schneider's or whatever their name is that's up here that does meat. So, you know, I could do that at a little bit better price. So working on that. But yeah, that, you know, sort of goes into the content. That sort of goes into, you know, just practice and everything like that. So yeah, but I'm probably going to do like some pork ribs for the 4th of July, maybe even some chicken, you know, like just sort of try out those two types of cooks and see what happens, and see, you know, just see how it goes and if it's worthwhile. But yeah, I'm sort of leaning like heavily toward doing that contest. So I just have to make sure timing and money work out to be able to do it. So.
Just do it. That's like what you got to lose.
You're right. And what did I say at the beginning of this year? I said for Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, by the way, follow us on Instagram at Hooks Spice Rubs. Buy some stuff. All the links are there in the links in the bio. And yeah, man, what I said this year was, you know, I'm going to, you know, definitely be a lot more proactive than I've ever been before. You know, I have a graphic designer doing some magic right now on a new logo label, and you know, I have 3 more flavors coming out, man. So you know, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be a good summer. So yeah, that's good. I'm gonna do it. So we'll fill y'all in on that as that time comes. But let's get back to the lecture at hand today. So yeah, last week, you know, if you have already listened, if you haven't already listened to it, you know, definitely go check it out. #blackoutpodcast.com or #blackoutpodcast on Instagram. Check out episode 130. You can find that on any of the podcast devices. We talked about haters, people who, sort of detract from your creativity, people who don't, who don't really, who don't really support you. So we talked about haters last week and all the hating ass niggas up in this world. And this week we're going to talk about the supportive people, the supporters in your life. So I'm going to read a definition from vocabulary.com of supportive, right? To be supportive is to help give or assist, to help give or assistance, or to hold something or someone up. If your parents are supportive of your dreams to become a chef, they might enroll you in cooking classes. Here we go. So supportive, furnishing, support, or assistance, right? A supportive family network. So this is essentially, the opposite of a hater. You know what I'm saying? This is the opposite of somebody who is dissing your talents, your creativity, your, whatever your goals are, your dreams in life, people that are giving you, negative criticism. This is somebody who may be giving you straight up positive support, or giving you constructive criticism in a way that is not detracting from what your overall goal is. So supportive. So we posted a post on our Instagram this week and asked the people, what is the definition of a supportive person to you? And I know Jay probably has all the answers queued up right now. So whenever you're ready, let's see.
All right. Who is a supportive person to you? Well, Random Ramblers with Rob says titty milk. It's very supportive. It's extremely supportive. The titty milk has all the nutrients to help guide you along and further your brain development as a baby.
Truth.
So how support? That's like tip-top support right there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Bam. The Warm-Up podcast says, your artwork is dope. Thank you. That's very supportive of you.
Good job, Jay.
Just Say Words says, folks who ask about your endeavors aren't afraid to spend a little money with you, share your info, and so on. Bam, that's a good one.
That's true.
Tremaine.Miller. Family members are friends with encouraging words and actions. They call, they genuinely want you to feel well and do well. They physically show up to support you whenever and wherever they can.
Cool.
Very true. J&T Podcast. Someone who will feed you when you broke, give you a roof, and tell you to get off your ass and change your life. Same definition of a friend in some books. True. Kung Fu Driving Podcast. They're happy to be there for you when you need them, but they're just as happy to cheer for you when you don't need them. Yep.
Gotcha.
Whatever Man Pod. People who give you honest, constructive feedback. They never make what you do about them, and they are always genuinely happy to see you reach even the smallest goals. Yep. That's right. So there you go. Those are the comments we received about support us.
Yes, indeed.
The titty milk is definitely number one. That is the ultimate support.
Definitely,
first one.
Definitely titty milk always.
Shout out to our mothers.
I'll never say no to that. Wait, hold on a second. I will say no to that now. I never said no to it then. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, man. Obviously, I think they all had it right. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different angles to the same answer, if you will. People who support your endeavors. Who can support you or support your dreams in some kind of way, or just, give you a pep talk, like Just in Time podcast said. Somebody will, who'll help you out when you're down in your luck, who'll give you a roof on your head and really, just kick you in the tail and say, hey man, you got to get it going and get your life together. So yeah, man, A lot of good stuff in there. Do you have any situations in your life where you can remember where, you had somebody who, or you have something that was, overly memorable that, showed you support when you needed it?
Yeah, there's been quite a few moments I could think of. I know the first one I really remember, my mom, she took, I don't know, I used to, of course, I'm an artist, I do stuff, and I majored in art and all this other stuff. But anyway, it's like one time in like 11th grade, I think she just grabbed my portfolio from my room, just my little sketchbook and whatnot. She brought it over to like the college there, university there, and she showed it around to like some of the teachers, the professors and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know she was doing this. She just did it. So with her doing that, they managed to get me enrolled into like early honors classes. Okay. Without even earning credit and stuff. I was supposed to be like an honor student to get into this program, but that wasn't happening in high school. So yeah, that type of support there of her just taking the initiative to kind of boost my career. I don't know if she knew that's what I wanted to major in, because I wasn't even sure I wanted to major in art, but she did that, and she got me some early college credit, and I was able to go to college early before I even graduated high school. So yeah, that was the first thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see. Every year, around my birthday and around, my best friend's birthday, we always like text each other and stuff like that. And, it's just like every year he always tells me, yeah, I'm proud of you, dude. Proud of everything you're doing. And likewise, I do the same for him too. Yeah. Because he just got his PhD like a couple years ago. So yeah, I mean, it's like a mutual thing. We're
that's cool.
We give support, and we show that love back and forth. So
and that's a good thing, man. I mean, you gotta. It's one of those things, man. It's highly unfortunate that you cannot have all of your closest friends that you had as kids throughout your life. It's just not always the way it's going to happen. Because life and work and whatever. But if you have some longtime friends, or even maybe not necessarily longtime friends just yet, but somebody that you have known and you have some kind of history with. And you guys are supportive to each other. You people are supportive to each other for whatever you got going on. But also that person, maybe the same person who can say, hey, you need to work on this. You need to work on that. You need to change this part about whatever's going on with your life right now. It's a good thing to have in your life. And there's not everybody has that, unfortunately. Not everybody has that. So it's good to have, a friend like that. It's good, that your mom did that for you, because, it's now turned into, your life work. You know what I'm saying? Like your career and stuff that you love to do outside of, your day job. It turned into a passion that, like you said, you didn't even really know it at the time, and it's when it happened. So that's cool. That's a good thing. I'll say this, man. I grew up in a very religious family. We went to church, it seemed like every Sunday, and, did the thing. And we had, our church had sort of like a national governing body that had a bunch of different, branches around the country. And I met a lot of kids through that. I met a lot of, adults through that. And there was a network of people there who they were, a lot of them knew each other, but they didn't know that they all had, an effect on me like that. But, a lot of them in their own ways, were always supportive of me as a child, going through high school, going through college, and then after, anytime I see them, they they would either tell me something that I need to hear, you know what I'm saying? If I wasn't on the right path, whatever I was doing, and then, or they would tell me, they would give me some support. I mean, shoot, I remember even in college, some uncles and then, some other family friends, they just dropped a $20 bill on me, after having not seen me for months, but, I was visiting home, and they know the plight of a college kid, who's not necessarily rich, they'd say, hey, use this money, get yourself some gas when you're driving back to school, go out and get a hamburger or two, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, because I know it's not easy out there. So it was always cool to be able to get that and just sort of have some kind of positivity, coming away from those situations. So that was always good. And then another thing is when I started Hook Shrubs and Spices, I brought all the different test samples that I had to work. I worked at a steakhouse then, a very expensive fine dining steakhouse, but a lot of the people I worked with there, I trusted their food knowledge. I trusted their taste buds. You know what I'm saying? They had been trained actually to taste food and drinks and be able to figure out how to pair it with something and, figure out what's good and bad about it. So I trusted their taste buds enough and I trusted their opinion enough for them to give me, information I needed to hear, not really what I wanted to hear. So, got a lot of good feedback from that, a lot of support, changed those batches of samples a few times and finally landed on a few great flavors. And, I'm still selling, I guess, three of the flavors that I came up with then. I'm still selling that today. And, having repeat customers come back and tell me all the great things that they've done with their food, and how much they like it. So, it's people like that, going back to people like that. And even some of those people from back home are still ordering product from me and I'm shipping it to them. And it's just really cool to see that. So people like that, who will give you honest, constructive feedback about your endeavors, about your dream, about whatever you have going on in your life. And that you can trust, what I'm saying, that is going to turn out to be a positive spin for you. So, yeah, so it's definitely something that, a lot of people I had in my life. And I mean, that's not it, but, there's a lot, there's a lot, to be thankful and sort of draw from. So that's a good thing. So,
right.
So I guess there's a couple of things that we could do here. We could, and I guess maybe what we want to do is, there's a couple of topics. So some things that you can do if you feel a lack of support. So I sent you a link, Jay, in the Skype. 10 things you can do if you feel a lack of support. So some of these may not be necessarily specific to every individual, but something's going to hit someone. So what to do if you feel a lack of support, and then ways to sort of give emotional support and support to people. So let's run down this ways to do or what to do if you feel a lack of support. We can do that, and you can start at number one. And I know that each topic sort of has sort of a paragraph, so you really don't have to do that. I think all of them are general enough that we could sort of expand off of the main sentence. Right.
All right. 10 things you could do if you feel lack of support. Number one, expand your support network. Mm-hmm. So I guess this could mean going out with friends, whatever. Just kind of expand that network, of friends.
Yeah.
Or like-minded people that want to, support you.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too. I'm trying to think, man, like if you expand your support network, maybe you have those friends, maybe you have other friends that aren't those friends, but if you go to the same people to help you solve your problems and your problems seem to always happen, maybe you should find some different people to talk to about those problems. Maybe instead of your friends, you should talk to a parent or a cousin or an aunt or uncle, or maybe someone else who may have a little more sage advice. I do remember one thing, man. I remember when my wife and I were going through marriage counseling, they said to always seek counsel if you're trying to make a big decision. And counsel doesn't mean you need to go and lay on somebody's couch. You ain't got to go, like that. You could talk to somebody that's older than you, that's been there and done that, probably made the mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Or had the wins that could actually give you some good constructive criticism. So, yeah, I think it works in relationship situations. I think it works in work life situations, in just regular decision making situations. I'll tell you this, man. It's so funny. One of my really close friends from college. It was random that I reached out to her at one point in time because I think I was going through a situation where I wanted to get back to more of the degree I had, which was in broadcasting, or doing something in that entertainment realm. And I know that she did it. I knew that she was successful at the time. And she's still working in that industry. And I went to her just randomly. I was like, hey, can we just sit down and have a chat? We'll go to have coffee or lunch, something like that. I just need to chat with you about some stuff. So we talked about some things. And she sort of helped guide me in directions that, in a direction that, I sort of wanted to go. And then at the same time, she asked me this question and I was like, what the heck? And at that time I'd already had, maybe I had both my kids at that time, I think. So yeah, I did. So she was like, hey, my husband and I are thinking about having kids. I never really wanted kids for the longest time. And now we sort of think we really want to do it. We're scared. We don't know what we should do. Yes or no. And we're sort of torn because we have this lifestyle as a married couple, no kids. We can do whatever we want, blah, blah, blah. But we think there's a hole in our heart. And there's another thing, I think this person, her dad had passed when she was younger, so she was like, I don't want my kid to not have a grandfather, even though he'll have another grandfather on the other side. And, there's a lot of things that went into it, a lot of family things, a lot of emotion. And, me being a father at that time, of two kids, I was all for it, but I was also understanding, of her life situation. But I just told her, I was like, hey, there is no better, if you're prepared for it, you know what I'm saying? There is no better gift that you can give yourself, than to have a child, because this is someone that will unconditionally love you, at least for most of its life, I guess, to start. And, someone who you can mold, you know what I'm saying? And someone that you can enrich. And hey, the type of person that you are, and this is me talking to her, I was like, the type of person that you are, it would be great for you to leave a legacy. And that's what a kid, that's what a kid is. You know what I'm saying? Have another one of you, or someone with a lot of your characteristics and qualities, to live on and sort of carry on your name. So I was fully supportive, but I was just like, hey, it's not easy. There's a lot of ups and downs and pitfalls and things you don't know about and you don't read in a book, but it's worth it. And, I guess a couple years ago, she and her husband finally had a kid. And yeah, they love it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't expect that to come out of the conversation I was going to have with her that day, but it did. And, thankfully now, and I know that I sent her a message once I saw a post that she was pregnant. And then, when she gave birth to the kid, I was like, do you remember that conversation we had? I'm glad you took my advice. And she responded in the same way. So yeah, so it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. So yeah, so sort of change, maybe, go outside, expand your network of support. That's a good thing. So let's see here. Number 2, sharpen your own coping skills, right? So I guess this is one of those things, man, if you don't feel support from other people, if you don't feel support from work or whatever, how do you deal with stuff that happens? Do you get frustrated? Do you take it out on people around you? Do you take your work home and stuff like that? Or do you deal with it, you know, in a different way, like saying woo sa or meditating or yoga, or like me, you know, going to the gym and hitting the heavy bag? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you deal with that? Right. You know, sort of maybe try some different ways to cope with that. Yoga, deep breathing, walking. I don't know. Meditate.
Yep. I do walking. That's how I got to get out my office, man.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm because I'm gonna say it's a pretty stressful job at times, but lunchtime I get out my office.
Yeah.
Even if I bring my lunch, I go sit in my car, eat my lunch, and then I go for a 2-mile walk to kind of like decompress.
That's a good idea.
You know, yeah. That's the best way. I mean, of course, it's kind of hot now in Texas, especially, but you know, that's my best way to decompress there. And then I get home, and then I put in like another hour, like just either lifting weights or doing some kind of workout. Yeah. Do you have how I relieve stress.
Yeah. Do you have a park nearby, or like a mall or anything like that where you could walk inside? Or you just walk?
My job?
No. Your job? No.
No, not at all. Nope.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's sort of like us. We're sort of an industrial area, so people normally take laps around the building when they're thinking that. I had a friend. Yeah. I have a friend at work recently who, man, she's been stressed out at work, you know, super busy. And I just started to chat with her about something. No, we had a meeting. Like, I had to meet with her about something, and I was just like, let's just do this meeting outside. And yeah, man, we did some laps outside, you know, and chatted. And, you know, she was like, I just need to see the sun. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like you say, you know, you need to get out of the building so you can vent, so you can breathe fresh air, so you can have your thoughts open.
Yeah, it's actually better for your body actually just to get outside, you know, especially if you're working in a confined space like a cubicle or an office building or something like that. I mean, it's good to get like some sun in you, you know, just some sun on your skin. It'll make you, it'll relieve a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and all those other things, just getting out in nature. Yeah. So, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Are you in a cube situation with no window nearby?
I mean, I got a window, but still, it's a cube, man. Yeah. You got people walking around you all the time. Usually I'll put right when I get in, 8 o'clock in the morning, I put my headphones in.
Go to work.
If they're on or not, it's an indication that don't stop and talk to me. Just keep on moving.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny.
And that's been every day for like the past, I don't know, maybe 5 years, even though I've been at this job for about 8 years. I really started to put the headphone thing in effect for the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
that's a good idea.
Notice.
Yeah, I don't have a window per se. I'm in a cubicle situation with, you know, a wall sort of behind me too. So I got to get up and go. But man, I feel that, man. Being able to get out, you know, is a good thing. So yeah, learn to cope a different way. Like I said, meditate, deep breathe, do some yoga, walking, go boxing, you know, go bike riding, you know, running, something like that. So get it out. So what's next up?
All right, next up, try keeping a journal. All right, let's try and get through this. So yeah, if you don't have support, or you feeling a lack of support, try writing down, you know, the things that you're feeling, that you're frustrated about. Yeah. You know, try keeping a journal of this stuff, and maybe it'll help you calm down some. It'll present some calming thoughts, some calming ideas of how to relieve what's going on in your life. So yeah, there we go. Number 3.
Yeah. Analyze the reason that you don't feel supported. Why are you not getting support? Are you not giving support to someone else? Are you not being a giver or a supportive person to someone else? Are you being a hater to somebody? You know, or like sneak hating them, you know, and just sort of dissing a lot of their dreams rather than not, and you expect that person to give you support. You know, try to think about why. You know, why am I not being supported, and how can I change that? You know, maybe you're doing something that's sort of like well out like that is like just so far fetched that it's hard to accomplish. So maybe people are like, yeah, you're going to need a few $1 million. You're going to need some different life skills. You're going to need some different, creative skills to do it. Try to figure out what the things are. And try to change those. So analyze.
All right, number 5, keep it simple. This is pretty much trying to keep things in your life simple. Maybe you're not getting the support is because you're overcomplicating the matter of things in your life. Maybe people don't want to be you're just over the top with everything. Just try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Back in art school, I used to learn it's called KISS, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. So there you go.
That's true.
Keep it simple.
True. This is something that sometimes people sort of misconstrue as people hating on them or people criticizing them. 6,
True.
Listen to what you're told. Now, like I said earlier, the example I gave earlier, I could have went to my friends at work and said, hey, taste this seasoning. It's dope. They could have tasted it, told me it sucked, and I could have been like, nah, you're lying. It's good. And not made a change and never sold a bottle. You know what I'm saying? They could have given me their full honest opinion. I would have said no. But if you take that constructive criticism, you turn it into positivity. You say, okay, I'll take this idea. I'll see what happens. And maybe it just works. So listen to what people tell you, because if you're asking somebody who is normally supportive of you, their advice, they give you advice, maybe you should listen to it. Maybe you should try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you listened, at least you tried to make a change. So listen to what you're told, just like your mama said.
True that. All right. Next, number 7, ask yourself if your goal is really attainable.
I like this one.
Pretty simple, straight to the point. Sometimes you got to step back, look at what you think people are actually hating on. If it's like a major criticism and people telling you can't do something, you might have to step back and see if that particular thing is really attainable. I honestly don't like the example they gave. They said, something to the effect of, if a person's trying to become a neurosurgeon, even though they have palsy in their hands, it's pretty much preposterous to even think about doing that. Somebody could actually pretty much become a neurosurgeon.
It can happen.
You got to think outside the box. You can't just think everything is in your hands. Technology is moving forward. People could think of ways to accomplish that goal. So, but anyway, you still do sometimes need to take a look at different things. I personally had to step back and take a look at certain things that I wanted to try to do. I still want to try to do them, but I had to honestly ask myself, could I actually make a living doing this particular thing? Yeah. Could I survive on this particular income, even though I did the math and stepped back and looked at it, and I was like, I don't think it'll work at this point in time.
That's true. Yeah.
Baby steps. I'll have to go baby steps to figure out how to do it. So, step back. Take a look at yourself.
Take a look in the mirror. Talk to the man in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson said. If you want to make a world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. All right. So here we go. 8. Try to understand why they don't support you. So you think, that somebody is always dissing you. And that's maybe what it feels like. But maybe you don't truly understand, where they're coming from. Maybe you just hear it, you take it as, for word value, and you walk off without trying to ask why they think like that, why they feel like that. Maybe this is somebody who is fully knowledgeable in, whatever subject you're trying to figure out, or has the experience like your mother or father, and you just take it as, they don't understand me. Well, how about you try to understand them? You know what I'm saying? You may not fully understand them. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little bit of takes a little bit of empathy. It takes a little bit of an open dialogue, between you and the person. Okay, well, tell me why you feel like that. Okay, I understand that now. Or, okay, well, this is my actual thought process behind my idea. So you tell me why you don't like that idea or why you don't like that path. And, have a dialogue, talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about it rather than just take it for face value. Because a lot of times people take things for face value. They lose lifelong friends instead of actually talking about it.
Bam.
There you go.
All right. Next up, number 9. Ask yourself what you would tell you if you were them.
What you would tell yourself if you were them,
Yeah. What would you tell yourself? Step back. What would you tell you? Do you give good advice to other people? Maybe you should start giving that advice to yourself.
Yeah.
And think about it. Honestly, think about it.
Yeah.
And be like, damn, I probably shouldn't have told him to go holler at that girl. Now he got like 4 kids.
Yeah.
And only one of them is.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
That's funny. Man, yeah. Okay. Lastly, if you are trying to, or I guess lastly for things that you do, if you're not really feeling the love, if you're not feeling the support, is maybe, at some point you change your approach or your goal, your behavior, your reactions to the situation, or all of the above. Maybe the way that you're trying to do whatever your goal you're trying to achieve, isn't the right path, isn't the right way. Maybe this goes back to listening to what you're told. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you should change that angle, go in at a different angle. If maybe you're somebody who always demands support instead of, honestly, openly asking for support. You say, tell me this, instead of saying, hey, I really need to know why this isn't working or what I should do in this situation. Maybe you should just change your approach, your own mentality toward the situation. There's always a good example I remember from Big Hero 6. If anybody's out there ever seen the movie Big Hero 6, the main character in there, was told by his brother, I believe, at one point, to look at a problem at a different angle. You know what I'm saying? Look at a problem at a different angle to try to achieve whatever he was trying to do. He did that, and he was successful. So, maybe you look at your goal with a different set of eyes. Maybe somebody that you've asked for support from. Maybe you look at it from a different angle. Say, if I'm trying to get to point B, I know there's normally a straight line, but what if I go this other direction to get there and I learn more on the way while I'm trying to get there? Just change your approach. Maybe it works. So I mean, other things that you can do, you can support somebody in being receptive and open to their thoughts and feelings. If they have, certain thoughts and feelings, if they have a passion about something, if they have an idea about something, you can give your support to them by saying, all right, cool, try it. Oh, that sounds great. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Even if it sounds like something that's, sort of whack or out of the realm of possibility, you can support them. You can also say, hey, I'm not sure that's going to work, but I support you. I want to see you win. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you win. I have a...
Yeah. Or you could just say, if you don't think it'll work, just say, have you thought about trying it a different way? And then maybe go through all the scenarios where something may end up falling off track. Yeah. And then you could just throw it out there on the table. Yeah. So it's not like, no, that don't work. Yeah. And then they're just stuck there like, well, why did you say that? So, maybe go through those type of motions to see, what they're thinking. Yeah, for sure. Or what you're thinking.
Yes, indeed. I think, it goes back to, how to, what am I trying to say here? How to get emotional support, if you will, is, just sort of like we talked about earlier, find a support network of people who have experience maybe in that field, or maybe just have sort of life experience, because not everybody's going to relate exactly to what you want to do. Not everybody is, if you're a creative, you do art, you know what I'm saying? You don't have anybody else necessarily in your family that did art, or that did the certain thing you want to do, but you can still ask them for advice, because they may have something that may relate to it, or they may have a whole different story that they could tie in that will make you understand the plight of what you want to do better. You know what I'm saying? So talk to somebody that's old. Sometimes that's the thing that works. You know what I'm saying? Or older than you,
Yep. With age comes wisdom.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But
except for OJ. Do you know OJ is on Twitter now?
Yes, I've been. I think we follow him. I don't know. Yeah, but he's on Twitter. Hopefully, he doesn't say anything that sends him back to jail.
Yeah, I'm not sure OJ's advice will be good. You know what I'm saying? But
you never know, man.
The real OJ 32, man. He.
OJ got some years under his belt, man. He might know some things that other people don't know. Would you? How about this? Would you take advice from Bill Cosby?
If it's advice of, this is why you should not put roofies in girls' drinks right now, because maybe one day down the line, it's going to get you put in the pen. Yeah. If it's comedic advice, yeah, probably.
Just life in general advice. Knowing his situation right now, he's in jail for something extremely stupid.
Yeah.
If he had advice on other things in life, would his advice be taken seriously?
I don't know, man. That's one.
If it's really credible, if you sit back and really think about it, his advice would be very, very good. It'd be very, what's the word, pertinent to whatever situation you're going through. But you, in the back of your mind, you're just like, nah, you in jail for like putting roofies in people. Nobody takes you seriously anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think so.
Something to ponder.
That's weird.
But I doubt we'd be getting advice from Bill Cosby anytime soon on a personal level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Would you take advice from R. Kelly?
It all depends. I don't want relationship advice for one.
Oh man. You take musical
but
advice.
his. Well, look at it that way. Yeah, you would probably take musical advice, but with this situation, nobody would probably even want to be around him to even hear what he has to say.
This is true. Would you take musical advice if you knew that you could potentially be locked up in a closet? But
I would hope you won't be locked up in a closet from talking music. But.
Yeah. But would you take musical advice if you knew that, if you knew that it would help you in your career? Yes, of course. So yeah. Also, maybe when you're looking for that advice, seek advice from people that are probably trustworthy to some extent. So there you go.
Wow. Well, I was actually I don't know why this is, but I turned down not a job, but just like an opportunity to like mentor a young kid from back home.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did. I was just I wasn't in the headspace at the time to like work with this kid and give him advice about stuff, because like one of my old friends from back home, he thought I had worked for Disney. I don't know where he got that idea from. Maybe I don't know if he heard it from the hear say if I was like doing animations for Disney, I was like, no, I wish I was
definitely doing animation
working for Disney. I mean, that was like a goal in high school, like in like 12th grade or something, to go work for Disney. But but anyway, he like the kid just contacted me out of the blue and say, hey, Mr. So and so asked me to contact you. He said, see if you wanted to mentor me. And I told him, I don't know if I'd be a good mentor at this time, but I like gave him like a ton of advice about the field that he's trying to get into.
Yeah.
So in a way, I kind of gave him a little bump in the mentoring department, if you want to call it that. So I gave him some advice. I don't know if he ran with it. I mean, we're kind of sort of keeping contact. I check on him from time to time just to see what he's up to. But I would, at the time, I wish I would have took the opportunity to just jump in 2 feet in. So I don't know. I guess it's not too late. Yeah. I feel that's more of a supporting type gesture and not a hating gesture.
I mean, that is supportive. It is what it is, man. It's supportive. You did what you could at the time.
I wasn't in a proper headspace to be somebody's mentor.
This is the thing.
I didn't know what came along with being a mentor.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best things you could have done for the kid, because had you done that and said yes, maybe feeling obligated or just said yes just because you're like, yeah, I could do this, why not? Maybe you wouldn't have given him the proper tutelage. Maybe you wouldn't have given him the proper constructive criticism, just because you may not have been into it 100%, so just did it just to do it. And it didn't turn out well, for the kid, and he ended up hating that and never want to do it again, so maybe that's what it is. And maybe one day, you will have that opportunity to go back to him and say, hey, I don't know if you still need it, but I'm happy to offer advice or help, when you do need it, and maybe he'll take it. So hopefully he understands that and gets that. Even though kids these days, who knows what they're thinking. So I'll tell you something, man. I listened to a barbecue podcast yesterday or day before, and there's a young lady on there who just won a state cook-off, and this girl is like 16, 17. She was competing against like professional teams, competing against her dad. Sort of actually taught her how to cook in the sport, and she's a teenager in high school. She now has sort of found a passion for cooking, whereas before maybe she wouldn't have had that. And just the open-mindedness to try something different, to sort of take her lumps in a couple of competitions and, try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that, taking that knowledge into, another competition and winning, it's one of the things that kids these days don't necessarily always seek out. You know what I'm saying? They don't always try to seek out help because they think they got it down. They think they know it, It's not every kid, but there's some kids that do that. So it was pretty impressive, seeing that, she would learn from other people who had done it before, take the criticism, take the good and bad situations that happen and turn it to a positive thing. So yeah, man. So I just thought about that. So I don't know, but other ways, to sort of create I guess to give support to people, is just know the right things to say at the right time. Because there are things that, everybody needs to hear. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're the person who just tells them what they're supposed to hear instead of what they want to hear, But I guess there's some situations that are sensitive. Sometimes people aren't in the right headspace, like you say, to listen to whatever you're trying to tell them or listen to whatever they need to hear, So situational awareness, know what you're saying and when to say it. And maybe you're going to say it, but maybe you don't say it right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you wait.
Right.
And you know, you take a different angle. So yeah, so that's just some stuff that I thought about. So I don't know. Anything else on that topic, man?
I don't know. I mean, maybe just a simple gesture of asking if somebody needs help.
Yeah.
It's like anything I could do for you. Just let me know.
Yeah.
You need some, whether it be advice, you need me to contact some people for you about doing something, this, that, and the third. Just maybe just asking if they need help. I mean, just that simple gesture alone could make somebody feel good.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna tell you something else, man. This is the thing that you understand. Everybody understands that there's people that give off positive and negative energy. If you are a person that's in need of support, and you know people who give off positive energy in your work life, in your home life, you know, wherever, those are some people that you need to surround yourself with. And you don't need to like stalk them and be like buddy and go out with them all the time. But you know, it's something, you know, talk to that person a little more often. You know, maybe if you're not friends with them per se, you know, just strike up a conversation with them and you know, just create some kind of, you know, relationship with them, bond with them, you know, some kind of, you know, verbal communication relationship with them. And, you know, because those positive energy people, those are the ones you want in your life that are most supportive, because they may not tell you all the best, you know, they may not tell you advice all the time, but, you know, whatever they do, the positivity that you can feed off from them, you know, will have a direct effect in your life. I can tell you that. I can tell you that for a fact, just because, you know, I've been around people like that, you know what I'm saying? And it just helps. You know, you see that person's face and it just brightens up your day for whatever reason. So seek out the positive energy people and try to surround yourself with them. So
there you go. So, I mean, that may just be about it. I know that, you know, we talked about in our anniversary episode, hey, you know, there's some stuff we want to do. We want to change some things. You know, maybe want to do some more episodes about, you know, about ways to be more helpful in people's lives. So, you know, this 2-part series was one of those things. You know, it's talking about haters. You know, it's talking about more supportive people and, you know, how to deal with those situations. So, yeah, so, you know, I think what we want to know is we want to know how you guys feel about it. What do you think about it? If you are down with this type of thing, if you want it, you know, maybe every now and then, but not always, and you want us to get back to more of our crazy shenanigans, if you hate it or you love it and you want more. And, you know, either way, you know, give us some topics to talk about. Give us some things to talk about, you know, as we continue to seek, you know. We'll take it as support.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we will. So we'll take it as support. Yes, indeed. So, yeah. So on that note, we got to get some love box stuff, because I tell you what, man, I just need to talk about tapping the love box right now. So, yeah. So JQ's the music at this time of the show. Careless Whisper, still rolling. George Michael. And we talk about tapping that love box. So, if you're just so super excited to listen and watch and stay up to date on all of OJ Simpson's tweets, tap your love box, because that excites me.
Yes. If you would take life advice from OJ Simpson and Bill Cosby, and or Bill Cosby, or R. Kelly, tap your love box.
If you don't understand why somebody would park 2 inches away from your back bumper in a parking lot when there are 700 other spaces, as well as more space behind their car to park, so they have to park that tight to you, tap your love box, because this made me mad today. Made me mad.
Somebody tried to kiss your bumper, huh?
Man, they're lucky they didn't.
With their
lucky
bumper.
they didn't. I'd have taken that money.
Man. Well, yeah. Tap your love box if you've ever gone into work on your day off. Yeah, I got a lot more words for it than not positive. I'm trying to stay on the positive vibe. We got off a positive episode. But yeah, just tap it if you had to go in on your day off.
Yeah.
You want to spend it with your significant other or your children or just at home chilling. And you don't get paid overtime for it. Hey. Nope.
I don't really always talk about soccer on here, but I'll talk about soccer right now. By the time this episode comes out, the Women's World Cup is probably going to be over, but shout out to the Women's World Cup team, U.S. Women's World Cup team. And there's one player on their team called Megan Rapinoe. I think she has like pink hair right now or something like that. She was asked, by a reporter, hey, if you guys win, the World Cup, you're going to be invited to the White House, to meet the president and blah, blah, blah. Just like any team does in that situation. Any world champion does. So would you take the invite? And she was like, nah, I'm not going. We would not like to go and meet or support someone or show support to someone and be all smiley with someone who, doesn't support women's rights or people of color. So no, we won't be going.
Right.
I won't be going. And then Donald Trump, of course, got hold of that, got a word of that. And he's like, well, you're uninvited now, pretty much. You would have been invited, but now you're uninvited because you said that. Tap your love box for that Megan Rapinoe, because what she also did was back in the day, really during football season, when people were kneeling with Colin Kaepernick, she was kneeling at soccer matches. She was kneeling at, international matches and the matches that she plays. And I just come to find out she plays here in Utah, not that far from me. So I can go to a game and see her. But yeah, tap your love box, for that support. You know what I'm saying? Because she's supporting people that she doesn't necessarily have to. And it's funny because, first of all, she's the first openly gay, female soccer player. But then, she said, I have my own perspective, but I'm a white lady. I've never been in the shoes of a black person or a Mexican person. I've never had one of my family members laying on the street dying, because of police brutality. I've never had the cops chase me down like these other like a lot of other people have, and people killed senselessly like that. But with that being the case, I still want to support them because I know it's not right for that stuff to happen. So, man,
right.
Hearing perspectives like that, from people like that, and people not just giving lip service, people like that actually doing things, behind what they say. I can get with that, man. I can get with that. That's showing love and that's showing support. You know what I'm saying? When she doesn't necessarily have to do that. So yeah, so tap your love box.
How about tap your love box if you notice your work calling and you never picked up your phone? Just don't pick up the phone.
I've done that. Yeah.
Somebody singing or crying back there.
That is a kid. That's Savannah probably having a little bit of a song with Jackson playing video games behind me. There you go.
Oh boy.
That's all I got, man. See, there you go. That's Savannah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like crying. I was like, they fighting?
Yeah.
It's my two boys, they fight, man. They start to fight now. I guess you got a good mix of testosterone and estrogen in your house. So.
Yeah, a little bit of half and half. Oh, you know what? Update on the same person I just talked about, Megan Rapinoe. So she accepted AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's invite to visit the House of Representatives. So someone else who supports the people. So she's going to go and see them. So that's cool. Tap your love box if you think it's weird that there was a Dominican shark who attacked somebody in Hawaii. How?
My man was swimming.
Yeah, he went a long way. Because there's not a straight shot. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not a straight shot at all.
The straightest shot.
That's pretty impressive, man.
Is.
My man said he wanted to see the world.
Yeah. It's funny because like his quickest route to Hawaii, I believe, would be from the Dominican area through like maybe the Panama Canal. You know what I'm saying? And then the straight shot up to Hawaii, but that's a long way. Or maybe the Gulf, not the Gulf, through the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe Rio Grande doesn't go all the way through to the West Coast. So yeah, that's probably it, man. I don't know. My guy was going. This is what's wild to me, man. Tap your love box if you think it's wild that African dust, Saharan dust, is plaguing, the Gulf Coast, Texas, Louisiana, etc., and it's jacking with people's, allergies and breathing. How? How does the dust from the Sahara Desert come halfway across the globe to Texas?
I don't know. It's Mother Nature, man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's what it is.
That's crazy.
That's what it is. Man, I tell you what. Y'all ever try to find tickets to a baseball game?
Yeah.
It's something else.
They're not cheap.
Yeah, trying to find some. They're not cheap, depending on the section. Yeah, depending on the section. But I'm gonna find. We get some good seats. I'm gonna try and find some good seats.
Yeah.
Kid wants to go see a baseball game, so have to introduce him to his third baseball game, maybe third professional baseball game.
That's cool.
So yeah, we'll go check it out.
That's cool.
We'll see.
Yeah, my kid said he wants to play baseball now. So this is something I've been wanting to hear for years. So I'm glad it's finally here. So we're gonna try.
Mine said the same thing, and I bought all this baseball equipment, bought a glove, bought practice balls, bat, and then it was like, I don't know if I want to play baseball anymore. Like, son of a...
Yeah.
You spend all this money. Yeah, but I'm probably just gonna take him out to the park one day and show him all the stuff I had to go through.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun, man. It's fun. They're active in something, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I was always scared to catch a ball to the face.
Oh yeah.
Baseball people.
Yeah, that's happened to me,
baseball.
Man. I've gotten the ball that hit me right in the lip. I
remember this kid got knocked out at bat. He got a pitcher threw it, bam, hit him right in the face. Knocked out right there at home plate, and it left a scar on his face. I think to this day, I remember seeing him back in high school, and of course, it's years later, and skin is all gone, discoloration and everything.
That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy, man.
Wow.
Gotta be careful.
We're rambling.
Gotta just catch. Anyway. Alright. Yeah. That's all I got. Why don't you tell the people where they can find us?
Alright, people. #BlackoutPod, Twitter and Instagram, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Anchor, Spreaker, Spotify. Yeah, Spotify. Forgot about that. #BlackoutPod@gmail.com. Hit us up 3853-BLAKPC. It's 3853-252-2572. You want a #Blackout Podcast hat? Hit us up in the DMs. Maybe we'll hook you up. You could see one of a select few on our Instagram underneath the episode 130 post. So yeah, check that out. Maybe we'll give you one for free.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe
we'll sell you one. I don't know.
We gotta figure this out.
Yeah, I don't know, because they just sitting here, man. I'm not doing nothing with them. I'm not even wearing them. Boss Box is our store or shop. I don't remember. Check them out. Get yourself 10% off of Boss Box. And get yourself some hooks, rubs, and spices off the Etsy. Sprinkle it all over that hate people give you. Or just give it to somebody to show your support.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Say, hey, I got something that may make that barbecue a little bit tasty.
That's right. Some they could
the spices of hooks.
Sprinkle on their meat, or they could just sprinkle on their life. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle on your whole life.
Just pour some in your hand, rub it together, and throw it in the air like LeBron James. Bam. Might make you feel like a king.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
May not be white, but be some spice.
That's right.
Like in your
Spice
eyes
up your life.
and in your nose. Yeah. All right, people. I'm tired.
All right. That's it, man. That's it. I'm blacking out. Peace.